Mike's work and stuff, and it does, and it all
One
has
two
to.
1 2.
Oh wait, see that there is this problem.
Yeah.
Ah,
1 2 1 2.
yeah, there's a voice. Yay.
There's a voice.
Yeah.
There's a voice in my head.
Oh, and my had two voices.
There's a voice in my head every single day, and tells me not to do things, or tells me to do things, or tells me that I haven't done things.
And is it a good voice?
Is it a good voice? Sometimes it's a good voice. There's only one voice, and
Okay.
sometimes it's a bad voice, but it's the same voice.
That helps. It helps that it's not different every day. That would be sucky.
Yeah, it'd be freaky. Who the hell is this today? I mean, I might need some medication then, probably,
Yeah.
to subdue the voice. So sound wise is good.
Yeah, I'm okay. You okay?
I'm good.
Yeah. So
I'm just waiting on hot water for my tea.
are they gonna bring it?
I wish. I'm not that rich yet, and I'm not that famous yet to sit here and go, tea, please. Just click my fingers. No, I have to go get it myself, unfortunately.
Okay.
So I'll be right back. And
Yeah.
then we rock and roll.
Yeah, of course.
Center now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
All good.
Yeah.
Alles good.
And then people can watch this too on this podcast. It's not only audio today, but also video.
Audio and video. That's good. Do you
Yeah.
always do video with it, or sometimes you just do audio?
It depends on the guest.
Depends on the guest. Okay.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. I mean, it costs me a lot more editing work.
Yeah, I guess you gotta put the footage to the audio.
Yeah, but it's okay. It's okay. It's I always survive, and it's working.
That's cool.
And if people want to watch or to listen, both are fine for me.
Yeah,
no
it's
problem.
nice to have the option.
Yeah, and I mean, my voice. Wait, I'm gonna change a little bit because I think it's your mic.
It's too loud.
No.
Not loud enough. Later.
Make some crunchy noises. Should be fine now. And otherwise, it will be my mic that is giving the problems.
Yeah,
No, this is better.
much better. Yeah, good.
I think so. Yeah, it was the cable. Yeah. No,
Okay.
you've got some tea. I got some water.
Yeah, we're good.
We are in Luxembourg
Yeah, we're in Luxembourg.
in the Philharmonique Orchestra Theater Palace Place
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. It's the Luxembourg Philharmonic.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, who would have thought if we should go back 10 years and I told somebody, yeah, I'm going to be playing at the Luxembourg Philharmonic, they'd probably think, oh, you're crazy. Yeah, you have some drive in what you do, but they probably won't believe me. But here we are doing a podcast
Yeah.
in the Philharmonic in Luxembourg of all places. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty cool.
You are Myles Sanko.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, we didn't say it, so let's start from there. And we have met somewhere in Venlo for the first time.
Yeah, I remember clearly when we met.
Do you?
Yeah, I do.
Or just being polite. I mean, if it's not, it's still okay.
No, I remember. We're in a church.
Yeah.
It was a church?
Yes.
Or barn?
Exactly.
What was
No,
it?
it's a church.
A church barn style. Yeah, we just did a show at the what was it called? Is it the
Grenswerk.
yeah
Zomerparkfeest.
Zomerparkfeest? That's it. We did the main stage. I remember, and then we got invited to do this sort of low key
Session.
Yeah, which was filmed and recorded at the festival, and it was like a church, like a barn, and people were waiting to get in. People have to, it's limited space.
Yeah,
It's
true. Yeah.
it's a limited space, and you were there taking pictures.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's how we met. It was pretty cool. I remember we had a good time in in that barn church or whatever it was.
It's always a pleasure to be there, and it's a great a venue to work for, because it's Grenswerk is the venue, of course, and this is the Zomerparkfeest where Grenswerk represents itself by hosting the church there.
And do they still do it?
Yeah, it's a different setup. The last few years, they don't invite people like you anymore, but more local artists.
Okay.
So for
was it
me,
after me? Nobody knows.
no, I think it's 1 or 2 years after.
Okay,
they
that's
still
good.
did, but yeah, it changed, and yeah, you can have an opinion about it.
Why no longer international artists?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe
I just want to keep it local.
Maybe it's too difficult to get it,
to organize.
Yeah, because not all artists are doing just one show on a day anymore, but doing two shows.
Yeah,
playing twice, and have to go somewhere else, and then you have to arrange it and getting the gear from main stage. Yeah, it's difficult, and it's a really big festival, of course. So, and giving the local talents an extra place to play is good as well, of course.
Absolutely.
And presenting dance events and stuff like that. So they do a lot of different things now. But yeah.
Yeah, I see what you mean, because I could definitely relate, because if there was a local festival, a big international festival where I lived when I was up and coming, when I was young, it would have been nice if there was a place for us local musicians up and coming to have a space to be part of this festival and play. So yeah, I think it's all good.
It's good, but for me it's like I saw them already so many times on different stages. And meeting artists like you
made it interesting. And here we are, how many years later?
It's been a while.
4, 5.
No,
years?
more. It has to be more.
No, it would be 2014 or 2015. 2014.
That's 6 years.
6 years, yeah. 6 years, so more.
Just a little bit more. It has more in my head. No, but you were starting to sing, and I was still in the backstage. I think that was the thing. And I heard your voice. I was like, I have to
check this
front
out.
stage.
Really?
And I make pictures, so that's easy to go front stage, but still. But I missed the main stage show. I didn't see it back then.
No.
But afterwards, I fixed that because
yeah, we see many shows now.
Yeah,
got a lot of shows. Yeah, that's cool.
But that was, as you said, 2014. How long were you going already?
A year.
That's not that long.
No, that's not that long. First album was released in 2013.
Okay.
I work pretty fast, huh?
Yeah, I noticed.
I work pretty fast, relatively. Yeah, I mean, it's been 6. Yeah, it's been 7 years. 7 years? No. Yeah.
What have you been doing before that?
Before being a solo, I was in a band called Bijou Mayo.
No clue.
No clue. Bijou Mayo was the band. It was a free-form funk band.
Okay.
So free-form, if you know what that is improv from start to finish.
Yeah.
We get together, we don't know what we're going to play. The drummer 4 count starts to play a groove, the bass player joins in, and then we create a song and we play. That's it. And then I'll orchestrate the band by stops, telling the drummer to stop playing, go to his hi-hat, but in a very seamless way, because we played together all the time. So these are my friends in my neighborhood that we got together to create this band. But there's always the vision when I put that band together. There's always the vision to write music. I remember actually the way the band came together is I had some songs. We met up in the living room. I said, okay, these are songs I'd like you guys to try out with me. We tried it for a little while, and everyone was like, whatever, I'm not feeling it. And then we started jamming, and so I put the lyrics away, and I'm really good at improvising, freestyling. And that's how the band became. So we just started jamming and improvising, and then we went out in the street, busking in the street. That's how we started. Our first performance was in the street, and we did that for a while. And that's how we earned money, by playing in the streets. And then clubs started seeing how many people we'll get 400 to 500 people just stopping and watching
on the street.
And on Friday nights by the river, we played next to a bar, and the bar would give us alcohol all night because we kept everybody there dancing and stuff like that. Yeah. And then the clubs came and go, would you like to play every Tuesday night? and then we go to residency, and then from there we went to the bigger clubs on one Saturday every month, and then from there it just went, and then we started touring, and that was it. Yeah. So and I did that right up to 2009 and 10, and then from that is a transition where I then got, because of this project, I got picked up by Speedometer. It was a funk band, a retro funk band, international retro funk band. Wanted to do an album. They wanted me to join them. Martha High, backing vocalist from with James Brown, was going to be singing on the album. We're going to go tour with her and everything else. And I'm like, oh my God, this is excited. So I did that, and I did that for 2 years. We toured France, went to Japan. I got a chance to work with Martha High, record with her, find out all the secrets. Well, not the secrets, but find out
something different from performing on the streets to performing.
Yeah. And then from there it was like, okay, I need to go record my album. I need to put some guys together, and that's how my band came together. Because at the same time, I was a promoter. I was promoting jazz locally. I was doing shows every Thursday in the jazz clubs.
You are talking about your place where you grew up, where you're playing music on the streets. Where was that?
Cambridge.
Okay.
Yeah, Cambridge in the UK. And
you promote those shows there as well.
Yeah, I also do. So I'm busy in all kinds of things, music and stuff like that. And I do club nights, funk soul club nights with DJs, and I also do live music nights with local artists and nationally get up and coming artists from London. So it wasn't just straight ahead jazz. It was jazz fusions. So Latin jazz, jazz funk, hip hop jazz, whatever I could, interesting that I would find, and with my local guys. And that's how I met my musicians that I'm working with, Tom O'Grady, Rick Hudson, and all those guys. And so I handpicked them and said, guys, I want to record an album. Do you want to record an album with me? And they're like, yeah, let's do this. And then we recorded High and You together, and then that was released in 2013, and then here we are now. And album number 4 is coming out soon.
But you said you started in a improv band, so that means making lyrics up
as you go, asking the audience to give a topic and then we sing it. Yeah.
And at a certain point, you were like, I have to write songs that I can perform multiple times.
Yeah.
How did that came up in your head? Is it like the training you had during those improvs, and then certain things work? And
no, it was I always wanted to write songs because you need to write songs, because that's how you record an album, and then things can happen. The reason nothing really happened with Bijumayo was because we had an ethos, and the ethos was improvise, but we didn't have. And I remember something that when we had our residency on Tuesday nights at a club called La Raza. It's a basement jazz club. People come the next week and go, can you play that song that you played last week? It was great. It was really good. What's the name of it? And we're like, huh? What are you talking about? What was it? What was the topic of the song? No, we were making it up. Like, really? You're making it up? No one really believed us for, like they just came and had a good time. We just feed off the crowd. And that's where I learned how to command the stage and command an audience, because you had no other, you couldn't hide behind anything. You just had to get there and get people going and connect with them, get them to sing, blah, blah, whatever. And that's kind of where, but I was always writing songs and so on, and when I needed to record. And there was a band called The Bays. Some people might know them, and they were an improv band from the 80s and 90s. And where I record most of my albums is at this studio called the Blue Barn. And Chris Taylor, the bass player from The Bays, he was the owner of this studio. And we went there and recorded some jams. And then he said one day, the one thing I regret from our band is that we never recorded music. And that stuck with me. He said, guys, maybe, it's what you're doing is amazing and it's fantastic and everything else, but maybe you should think about recording some music, because that way you can, labels can get involved, and, there's a product,
It's not only that evening that it exists,
but which is amazing, man. I'll do anything to go back to those moments or have another jam, because it's magical, man. Seriously, when you're on stage, you don't know what you're gonna do. It's music happening right here, right now with everybody, and it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing.
But now you're repeating yourself every single night. playing music, and you're now saying, "I would like to do improv again." But it is the making music, being on stage that you love.
Yeah, I mean, being on stage, the most
Yeah.
that's the I make music so I can be on stage
Yeah.
and tour and have fun, you know, and enjoy doing it. That's the reason why, you know, I make music, because you release an album and then you get a chance to tour it, you know, and you can, and those songs become something else on stage, because at the same time I still retain that ethos of improv. So with the band I currently tour with, they know that I change things on the go. And the songs evolve because I'm always changing things, and they become something else, you know? Like Come On Home, now it's like this big anthem we always sing. First Come On Home was just Come On Home. And then I thought, I want to sing with the audience. And then the song slowly evolves and becomes this. And then parts and sections will change, and it just evolves and evolves. And it's by, you know, in 10 years' time, Come On Home might be something else. And I keep changing things all the time. Even though we're playing relatively the same songs that the audience wants to hear, songs that have been released, highlighted songs from the albums, and so on. We don't try. It becomes something else on stage, you know, and that's what's really cool about it.
Yeah, I can still listen to the albums when I'm at home, but it gives such a different vibe when you're at the show.
On the show,
It's yeah, as you said, it's something else. It's not like doing exactly the same what's on the album. It's
two different worlds.
Yeah,
For me,
yeah.
it's completely two different worlds. You know, the studio, and then the stage. It's two different worlds, and it's exciting to be on stage.
But that's also a thing you learned on the streets, to make contact with people, because otherwise they're not gonna stand still. And
they're gonna
just
stand still, and
passing you by.
they're gonna give you, you know, a euro or a penny, a pound. I mean, you know, or anything. And even then, I had merchandise. You know, we had T-shirts and stuff. We're selling merchandise. You know, it's you know,
You have to hustle.
Hustle, man. We were hustling big time. You know, and I paid my rent, you know, by doing that, and it's fantastic. And if you go online and you type in Bijou Mayo, you see videos of us in the street busking. I had a megaphone. I played a percussion djembe, while singing at the same time. So I have a megaphone, and that was my microphone. And then I have a djembe, or I'll be playing congas. And yes, it was crazy fusion of jazz, funk, progressive rock type thing. It was, it's crazy.
Is that also something that you grew up with, or did it came later?
In which sense?
When you were a child, did you listen to jazz, fusion?
I listened to all kinds of stuff.
Or-
I listened to all kinds of stuff. Funk, yeah, for sure. Was on the radio. James Brown, reggae, Bob Marley, all kinds of stuff. Yeah, it wasn't necessarily, and then hip hop later in the 90s, and hip hop was kind of where I kind of fell in love with music, and I wanted to be a performer. It was hip hop, and from there I became a rapper, freestyling. And then from freestyling, I then instead of rapping, I sung my freestyles, and that's how I was able to freestyle, you know, lyrically over music, over funk, instead of, you know,
the hip hop beats, yeah,
hip hop beat or something like that. So it was just basically the same thing. I was just just doing it slightly differently. Yeah.
And then you said around 2012, you started to record the first album.
Yeah, it was recorded in Cambridge.
At that point, did you knew what you wanted to do, or is it like still making it in the studio?
No, I knew what I wanted to do. I knew the band. I knew what I wanted to do, what I wanted to tour, how I'm going to release the music. I'm going to film a studio live version.
Wait. I know how your mind a little bit works, but that goes fast. How do you create that in your mind? Is that just a vision board with everything on it?
It's like this is what I want to see the project do. How do I make it happen? And that's it. And then I try to achieve all those goals by doing what I need to do to make it happen. I remember recording the first album. I did a string of that whole summer. I just maxed out promoting shows so I could raise enough capital to go in the studio and record. And as soon as I did that, I put some money aside so we can do get a film crew in, so we can do a live session, because I knew that coming from nowhere, no one knows who you are. That's music. Some people need to see who you are, see how you perform, and everything else. I knew the power of video footage and music, putting those two together. And I knew that if I wanted to get gigs, people need to see how I sing and how the band looks like and how they perform. So that was one of the most important things, and I'll say to anyone that's sort of up and coming and starting, to definitely record the music and then put out some footage of that, maybe the whole album, and just have that so people can. Then you're creating content, content online. And even before then, I did all the songs I was going to record acoustically. So I did acoustic videos. So I knew that by the time people knew who I was and they went online, there'd be enough material, content, for them to like sink their teeth into and stuff.
Yeah,
sharing.
not only one video, because that's the budget we had.
Yeah, so it was like I use iPhones. I remember putting iPhones down. I got a guitarist, and I did whatever I could just to get enough content. And I did loads of acoustic videos of all most of the songs. And then I got fans that I had, because I had fans from Bijumai. So I created fans from Bijumai. I started getting fans from Speedometer. So I had a fan base already. I created a fan base through the various projects, and they kind of followed me through. And some didn't like what I was doing. Obviously, you can't please everybody, and preferred Bijumayo, freestyle off the cuff. And some continued with me and stayed with me. So and being involved with Speedometer kind of made people listen to me a little bit, because I got a chance to expose to some people within the industry. So I knew I could send this email and
say hi, and they will open
it, that kind of thing. So whilst I was doing the speedometer thing, I was thinking, once I go solo, who is the people I need to impress and I need to get details for, and so on. So I kind of already collecting those and made a good impression. So I knew that when it came to time that I needed a radio play, or I needed to speak to this booking agent or something like that, they would kind of listen to me and stuff like that. So that kind of helped a little bit,
It's really nice to hear that you have thought about literally everything. Well, when I talk to some other bands, it's like, or other artists, they're like, yeah, I have no clue what I have to do, and just we'll see. And after 2 years, the project is dead.
No. I mean, that's the thing. You have to have a goal. And I have a goal. I had a goal from the first album that I recorded. I want to record 15 albums. 15 albums. It's not a lot, but it's still a lot. I mean,
no, that's a lot. That's over 30 years of
work. Yeah. Every 2 years, release an album. So I'm kind of on course. I kind of
slacked a little bit.
I slacked a little bit on just being me because of various things. Yeah, I became a father. I got married. I moved countries, and those things are life-changing things, big, life-changing things. But I'm back on course, and I'll catch up on course. And by 2022, I will have had 1, 4, 5, 6 albums. Yeah.
This is so strange. I mean, I love you, man. But this is like this is something that I would love to do. Planning ahead with a band and making a vision board. Like, this is the way to go, because a lot of bands not starting like this, and they're not achieve what they could do because they are just thinking short term instead of long term.
Yeah,
I mean, you don't know what the last album will be, of course, but you want to reach it in a certain period of time.
And I know that I have so much creativity within me, that I have so much to say, so much to express in video, in music, and in whatever, in all kinds of stuff. And the goal that I have is 15 albums. That's all I can. So forget everything else. All I need to focus on is 15 albums. Whatever happens on the way will happen. And by the end of 15 albums, then I can evaluate my life. What have I done? I've got 15 albums behind me. I'm probably 60 something at that stage, and for me, that's a body of work. It might help me with my retirement. Royalties. That's 15 albums worth of royalties. Is pretty.
Helps, yeah.
It's pretty good. So because a musician, we don't get what's the word I'm looking for? We don't get a pensions, right?
Yeah, yeah, true.
You don't get pensions from
You
nobody.
make it yourself, yeah.
You make your pension yourself. So at least, okay, there you go. I'm 60. I'll have a pension from royalties. And if I forget everything else that happens in that, just not focus on anything, just focus on 15. All right? And then just get to 15. And whatever, and trust me, things are going to happen. The 7th album's probably going to be amazing. Or it's going to be really bad. Okay, dust myself off. Go. Just
Next one.
Stay in. Everyone is going to know. Try and make sure that you stay exciting, you evolve, you keep yourself interested. Your name's always there, even if you're not a number one playlist, whatever. Forget all that stuff. Yeah, focus on trying to get on a playlist and stuff like that. But just that's my goal. 15 albums. Stay exciting. Make sure your name's in the circle. You're always, people know who you are. They know the quality of what you do, and get tours, get your music out there on radio and stuff like that. If you get it on film, just create some albums. Make sure your name is there at all times.
Well, when you started with the first album, that quality of that first album is already so high.
Yeah.
Most artists, when they start, it's not like doing a production like that. It's like just make a good demo or.
Yeah, I went it all out.
Yeah, exactly.
Full four section horns, percussion. Yeah, I saw it big. I wanted it to be good because I recorded with Speedometer, top class bands. I had various attempts on recording with Bijumayo, but I knew that if I had a vision, I have a high standard. I pushed myself really, really hard to get some kind of a high standard. And I knew that if I was going to I need to make a statement, and I need this album to be like really loud and like really funky, it's like, wow, that's what I wanted to, make a statement. And then from there I can see what happens. But it's all unknown. It wasn't unknown. Mm-hmm. All I knew is I had to drive, and I had a vision, and I had a plan, and I was trying to connect those dots.
But did that help also with getting the band together? Because you had such a clear vision.
Yeah.
So they can follow you with it? Or is it more like also scary for them because they have maybe not played on that such of...
I was very clear on what I wanted to achieve, that I was able to sell the dream I think I'm good at selling a concept, selling an idea, because I'm confident about it. And even talking about, we're going to do tours, we're going to,
Without selling one ticket yet.
I want to be part of this. I want to be part of this. And the guys respect me for it, because what I said I was going to do, we're doing it. We're delivering. We're delivering. We have our ups and downs and stuff like that, because now we're in the meat machine now. We're churning in there, and you got to have music. You got to release more music, so you have another new tour, and then people expecting this from you, and so on, and everything. And then it's getting bigger and bigger, and a lot more to manage and everything else. But it's a nice roller coaster that's going to continue. In 15 album, we might still all be together, all old guys talking about the fun.
Who knows? Who knows? With that first album, then you recorded it. You did it yourself.
Yeah.
And then, because you had some context, it's just like, call everyone, please help me with this and get it out. Or
so what I did. So I pressed CDs, 1,000 copies. I knew there was still power in physicals at that point. I released it digitally on all platforms, and then I recorded a live session of all the songs on the album. Mm-hmm. So that's what I had, and then I released it. I got a press pack together, explain over the album. I paid for PR, to very low budget PR, but
just get a kickstart.
Get a kickstart to get some stuff out there here and there. This is 2013. It's a different climate, than what we're in now. That's for sure. And then from there, it was sending emails to all from my mailing list. So I've been collecting mailing lists from 2007. I've been collecting mailing, emails. Those days.
Yeah.
Those days all about emails. So I'm finding so many innovative ways to collect emails. And then I already had like almost 4,000 emails in my mailing list at that point. So yeah, do a little mail out
with the freaking first album.
With yeah.
I mean, most bands are like 4,000. That's 10 albums in before I have 4,000.
You know, I
mailing.
had 3,000, about 3,800 on a mailing list. I was
Wow,
collecting.
yeah.
I was collecting, and then also I had a text system. So I created a text system for my promotions. You know, when I used to do promotion locally.
Yeah.
So I had a text system where I had all numbers databased of all the people that came to shows. So the way you can get on the guest list, you had a number, and so I had all this data.
Yeah.
Then it wasn't kind of seen as data, but it was basically that kind of data, and I could send I could send a text to a whole 1,000 people saying, guys, finally I got this album out. So that kind of gave it a push locally. And then what did we do, man? We from there we're doing little shows. So then I knew I had to get into London and do shows in London and at least get a residency in London somewhere where I'm playing every Friday or every other Friday.
Oh, that's a great start. Yeah.
Yeah. So we managed to get that. And then whilst I was doing this, I was collaborating with some other artists as well. So while I was doing the collaboration, I met some other people. When I went to Japan, I met some record label people from the other, so I had the album released in Japan. People picked it up. I got a distributor from a friend that took some of the CDs and distributed the CDs. It was low budget, man, but it was moving. And then from there,
Have the ball rolling.
yeah. From there, the music went to the right. People found it exciting, and then I had reviews and so on. I even faked some reviews. I know it's gotta be done.
It's a start.
I'm not gonna say. At this stage, nobody knows who the hell you are, but sometimes it kind of helps and stuff. So I'm a hustler. I'm a hustler, baby, and I want you to know. So yeah.
But it worked out. I mean, we have talked about this before, but you also just said it. When the album came out, you already started with the next one. It's like keep it going.
Yeah, I already had 2 albums written already.
Yeah.
Before I recorded the first one. So straight away, 2013, I released the first one, and in 2014, I released the second
insane.
one already.
Yeah.
And then straight away, by then, I got enough attention with the first one and met enough people that people were already saying, "Oh, I know a really good label that you need to get in touch with if you're going to release the next one, and they might be interested in it." And then from there, the next one was out, and already I was sending links to labels for licensing. And then I had a label that was interested, and that's it.
Are they happy if you're done with everything already?
Yeah, in my field anyway. Yeah,
Because
but I still retain. I'm still in control. This is my music. It's my label, and I'm licensing. So it's a finished product.
Yeah,
and I know what I'm doing. They can obviously see what I've got a vision, and they trust in that vision, and they want to be part of that vision, and that's it. So, but if it's a major, they might have a different. But I'm working on an independent level.
Okay, so they're just buying a finished product and then help you to get it to a wider audience.
To a wider audience through their channels. Yeah.
Who's the label you're working with now?
The label that I've been working with and gave my first ever licensing deal was Leger from Hamburg. Yeah, and Leger is here today. Yeah. And also I licensed my third album, Just Being Me, and now we're in talks to license the fourth one. So yeah, I mean it's a family. You grow close and you understand each other's, and that's how it works. Right?
A lot of artists, a lot of recording artists are thinking, or I can do it myself, or I need to have influence by the record label, and there's nothing in between. But you just said you can make your own vision and then sell that vision to a record label, and they will help you.
Absolutely, I can, but it depends on what kind of music you're doing. In soul, in jazz, and this is your idea. This is your story. No one's going to tell you how to put your story together, and you have to be excited. The people buying into you, not the label. The label just knows who to talk to try and get a good distributor to sell the music and so on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but on the other hand, if there's a Blue Note label on it, it's good, and you will buy it nevertheless.
Yeah, there is that aspect. There's that aspect as well. You
Yeah.
know, the
Yeah.
credibility that a
Yeah.
major label, a really exciting major label has, because a label also has a following of people.
These days,
Excuse
yeah,
me.
yeah.
Yeah, that has a following, and you know, an artist, and they handpick very precisely which artist they're going to release, because it is in line with their ethos and what they do, their sound, and everything else. So yeah, there is that side of things, but yeah, you create your product, and the label is going to help you uh, distribute it, market it
But that
out
also
there.
means that you have to finance everything
Yeah,
from beginning to
so
end.
yeah, absolutely.
Is that a big step to make in your mind? Because a lot of people are just worried about, can I get my 10,000 euros back?
Forget your 10,000
Yeah,
euros.
yeah,
You're not going to see it.
yeah,
You're not going to see it for years.
yeah.
You won't see anything. Just just it's an investment. You know,
That's that retirement plan for in 30 years.
so that's a short-term goal. I'll get my I've got my investment a long time ago. You know, but I didn't get it in the first year or the first 2 years. I've got it now. I've got more. You know,
Yeah, of course, yeah.
and I'm gonna, so, and now to release an album, to produce an album, it's a lot of money. You know, it's a lot of money. Your minimum 10 grand
Yeah.
to do, on a high level and stuff like that, and that's a lot of money to put forward. But now it's like, okay, I know I need to do it. There's no questions about it. I've got to do it. I've got to find the money, and I make sure I put that money aside. So you go to your first album. You're going to do some shows. You pay yourself out of that. You put a little bit aside. You pay your shows, you pay your musicians, you put a little bit aside. You pay your musicians, you put a little aside. And you're thinking about, you're already planning for the next one. And by the time the year and a half, the excitement dies down a little bit, you've already got the budget, you've already written some of the songs to then release. But then I'll say, if your album's gonna cost 10 grand to make, put another 10 grand aside for PR. Because yeah.
Yeah, it's
There's
so
no,
true.
There's no
yeah.
point. There's no point putting in. There is no point. It's like, okay, I give a prime example. Forget music. I've created the most amazing car in the world. Like, it's a Tesla. All right, it's gonna change. It's gonna change the course of history. All right, and I'm Elon Musk, and I've got this Tesla sitting in my garage. All right, and then I open the garage door so that when people walking by, they can see the car is for sale. How long did you think it's gonna take for you to sell that car?
Never.
Probably never.
Never, yeah.
People are gonna walk by and go, "Oh, it's a garage door. What is that?" You know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the only way he can let people know that he's got this amazing product is by having some PR. You know, and that's important. You know, so I had a little budget for the first album. It was very, very tiny. It wasn't, now I'm saying, yeah, double, whatever you spend.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, you want to do it on a bit slightly bigger level, and now plan ahead. Before I remember I released my album, no one cared. I mean, no one knew it was coming out. I didn't have to go to any schedule. I can just do whatever I want to do, and then just released it. But now also I'll say, have some planning, ahead of what when you're gonna release it. Pick the date. Think about why you're releasing it on that date, and how you're gonna get excitement around it. It gets harder, man. In the beginning, you're just hungry, and you just go out and do it. Now you start to learn from your mistakes, and it gets hard. It gets harder because there's a lot more to think about, and you're aware of more.
Yeah,
if you know what I mean.
But that's having that first vision, and then you react on that one, and course correct where it's needed, and
yeah.
So of course you learn from mistakes, but you get more data for yourself
Yeah.
to know how to fix it for the next time.
Yeah, true.
And especially if you have that long of vision in the future, then you know what's the next step you need to do. From playing smaller festivals, from smaller venues, you made a step to bigger rooms.
Yeah.
We went to some really nice venue and an orchestra venue as well. I don't remember where. It was somewhere in Germany.
In Germany, yeah.
I want to say Cologne, but
Cologne, Philharmonique.
Yeah.
The Cologne Philharmonique. Yeah, the Philharmonique in Cologne. Yeah, 2,000 capacity, pretty much sold out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From that was not many years later. That was just
no, that was 2000.
Just with the new album?
2017,
Yeah.
maybe 2000.
Was the new album released?
The new album, yeah, the latest album, yeah, Just
yeah.
Me was released. 2000, it might have been 2017.
Yeah, okay.
2017, December 2017.
So in 3 albums and 3 steps, you gain from going to an unknown artist
50 people in a room, and I still get 50 people in the room sometimes, man.
Yeah.
Man,
we went to Antwerp.
We went to
we
Antwerp,
know,
yeah.
we
know it can happen. It can happen. So and I remember even Cologne. I remember the previous year I played Cologne, and we had like 90 people in a venue, in a little arch venue, 90 people in Cologne, and then I come back a year later to play the Philharmonique.
But how? How is that possible? What scam did you do? No. How does that work? Because normally you double, maybe, and maybe you triple.
It's crazy.
Is that just having that PR vision and just a great record to
no, man. Working with having the right people around you.
Okay.
Playing at the right venue, and having the right music at the right time. Those things I've realized, those things, and playing the right venue can change a lot of things.
So maybe saying no to a different one.
Yeah, there's gatekeepers. Yeah, picking the right show and doing the right. That's important as well.
But you do that yourself, or is someone helping you with it?
I have booking agents now. Before I was agent, manager, everything. I had my spreadsheet with all the people I need to contact. And I was making a friend in all the promoters, and to get shows in different venues and stuff. And now I've worked my way to having an agent, an agent that work. And now I have various agents in different territories. So I have an agent in France, I have an agent in the UK, I have an agent in Germany, and an agent in Spain, and we work together. But it's still a very close unit, and they know my drive, and we work together to make it happen.
But you're still managing yourself.
Still my own manager, unfortunately. I have to. No one can manage me.
But that means that if you are growing like this, I'm not listening much to the radio.
Mm-hmm.
And if I would listen to the radio, I don't think I'm gonna hear your music.
Well, if you're Netherlands, yeah, I could play it.
Yeah, but on NPO Radio 6 was it back then?
Radio 6, Sublime, maybe 3. Is it
no, 3 you won't get played. That's the indie rock.
What's the other one? I'm trying to...
2.
I apologize.
2.
Yeah. I do apologize. Yeah. Not 3.
No, but 6 all mostly got killed, so that's not existent anymore.
But 6 was the reason...
just soul and jazz.
What's the reason why I came to the Netherlands? 6 were... Come On Home made it to the playlist in the Netherlands.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why we met, because my song Come On Home got played on Radio 6.
And we went to Paradiso afterwards.
Yeah,
with them.
Yeah, we went to Paradiso.
But if it's not there anymore, how do you get inside of people? How do you get in the ears? Is that just Spotify playlist and getting there on the right ones?
It's online. I still get radio plays. And now, before you can kind of keep track of it. Now I don't keep track of it anymore because it's just too many.
Yeah,
it's just too many. You just pray and hope that your publishers are collecting your retirement plan. And now I have a label. The label is the label's duty to get the music to the radio. So and then I got a label in the Netherlands. Which also put my music on radio. Is their job to do that?
Yeah, but getting the attention of people, it's difficult. I mean, 7 years ago was different. To now, and you'll still get new people in, even today. I mean, today is also 2,000 capacity.
Today,
it's sold out.
It's sold out. Yeah.
So new people are coming, and they have to hear somewhere from you.
Yeah, it's online radio.
Yeah,
radio. People still listen to radio, but playlists online. And now I should find a way to track those things a bit more, but it's difficult now. There are ways to try and track those things, but it's hard to track those things. And you can see how many plays you get a month. Your monthly plays on Spotify. Spotify is now like the radio. People play, people put it on the right kind of playlists that people listen to, and they'll hear your music, and then they'll come to it. And also, it's working with the right people. Working with the right people, who, playing the right venue, will oh wow, you're playing this venue. This artist looks exciting. So at the same time, you have the touring side of things, and you play the right venue. You can then be introduced to a huge audience because you play the right venue. They respect the venue. They buy tickets regardless.
Yeah.
Not regardless. They buy tickets because the venue's put on this artist, and then they go check out the artist and like, oh, I gotta get a ticket. I gotta get a ticket and go see this concert. And then there you go. You got a new fan.
But that's also the difference between a hall like today and playing a club.
Yeah.
The club normally has a lot of younger people.
Yeah.
And venues like this are normally, I don't know what's happened tonight,
Older.
More gray hairs in the seats.
My audience is gray hairs anyway, so 35 to 65. That's my demographic. It peaks around 40. That's my demographic.
I like this, that you know those things.
You have to know those things.
Yeah, but a lot of bands don't. They just
just look on Facebook.
Yeah, I know.
That's one place you can see. You can see. You can find it anywhere.
Yeah, I'm for the bands that I help. I always look at those data because then you know what you have to do and what kind of things can work. Yeah,
bands in town.
Yeah,
will tell you. There's amazing behind the scenes. Insights. Yeah. You can, where requests are. You can see pockets of where the fans are, and then you can plan your tour around where you need to go. And try to. Yeah, there's a lot of things, and then also you have Spotify. Spotify is also collecting
artists,
and they're trying to build that side of things. Spotify artists are collecting a lot of data that will let you know, who are where you need to go.
Does it also mean? I mean, 7 years ago you didn't have those information things. Then you worked with some great people, still working with the great people that help you to get in the right place. But does it also mean that for the next album or the next 2 albums, you're gonna change things
in regards to
touring or getting to the right places to do radio or things like that?
Am I going to change things? Right now, I don't know. If it's not broke,
don't
fix it.
But you're busy with the next album, so
yeah,
you have something in your mind for this one. Yeah. Will it be similar to the last album then?
In regards to production?
Yeah.
Yeah, also, I mean, my albums always have a, I'm not completely like I'm evolving. Yeah. But I'm not going to evolve like,
you're not going to record a hip hop album yet.
Yeah, not yet. So slowly we get there, and then there'll be a hip hop album when I'm 65. So yeah, there is elements of. So I'm moving away from what I've done previously, but at the same time, it's still tying itself in to.
But it's something that you feel that you need to do. It's not like stupid data that they're like, okay, my demographic and it asks for this now artists and
no one's asking, no one's I'm doing on the creative side of things. I'm doing what I want to do. I'm doing how I feel, what I'm feeling, and what I think I should be doing.
But when when I see you on stage, I saw you a couple of times now. There are not a lot of support acts. You are not supporting a lot of bigger acts.
Yeah.
Sometimes you do that, I know, but there's also no younger artists and support acts for you.
Yeah.
Is that a choice? Is that something that, or is
it's a combination of things? It's a combination of things. A combination from promoter sometimes makes those decisions. You remember when I toured the Netherlands? I had support. Do you remember?
I can't even remember.
Those big tours. I had support. So it comes from label as well. The label can have another artist on the label that they feel that would be a great,
combination.
Yeah. So you're getting a room full of people, and you twice, one stone, 2 birds, kind of vibe. And also is when you go on the high level, people pay to be support acts. Labels pay to get that exposure. Yeah. So there's a number of things. I don't necessarily. A lot of people send me emails and say, "I would love to. You're in town. We'd love to. And if it's right, I'll make it happen." But a lot of times, it's people come to see me, and that's what they want to see. You know, and also it's how much time do you have on stage? We don't do like an hour, or we do a big show, so we're
Yeah.
already filling up the whole space. You know, and having the support sometimes can complicate backline, make things, you know. So it's a whole bunch of number of things.
But for the upcoming album, I guess you want to make a next step.
Mm.
Does that mean that you have to be in that spot again?
To try and to
make
to supports,
Yeah.
to do supports with other artists,
Yeah.
with bigger artists.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I remember Germany came together quite nicely for me, and that's the reason why I'm working with a really good booker, is because I did support with Greg Reporter.
Yeah.
You know, and Gregory allowed me to do 6 shows with him.
He's the top at this moment in this genre.
Yeah.
There's nobody above him.
Kinda. Data
Yeah.
data says different.
Yeah, of course. But,
you know, there
but
are
shows wise, it's like
you know,
he plays the biggest rooms there
yeah.
are. Yeah.
So you know, when it comes to pulling in an audience, he's still there pulling quite a lot of audiences, and that was a great opportunity because I got introduced to his fans.
Yeah.
And still to today, those fans are still my fans.
Mm-hmm.
And so on. So that was a great opportunity. Whether with the next album I'll get the chance, but that came through my label. You know.
Okay.
So it all depends really, and label is, if you know you're working with a label is responsible to try to do those things, to try and
Get you in the right slot.
get you in the right slot, you know, and a right marriage with the right artist that you can then get exposed to a wider audience. Yeah.
But making it to a next step from 2000, the next capacity is like a big step. It's not like small.
Yeah,
there's
there's a big gap.
Yeah, it's not 2,500 and that's it. It's just like 4 or 6,
Yeah,
or even more.
yeah. There are not many venues that go above 2,000 really. If you think about it, after that you had to do 3
6?
nights.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
In the same venue.
But do you want that? Is that something in your?
Man, yeah. I mean, I am a recluse. I'll tell you that. I don't want to be bothered.
Is a what?
I'm a recluse. You know. I'm. You know. You see me on stage, and I'm like I'm like a flamenco. A peacock, and this is where I come alive. But when I want to get the exposure. I want to get my music out to as many people as possible. But at the same time, I don't want it to be crazy.
Okay.
I want to be able to walk down the street.
So no 20,000 rooms.
If it happens, it happens, and I'll do my best with it. You know. But at the same time, I just want to enjoy what I'm doing. You know, and I want to keep it controlled.
It would look good on a tour poster if you sold out 3 times in a row.
Yeah, I mean
in one stage.
In one stage, that's
Yeah.
great. Absolutely, that'd be amazing. You know, that's a nice achievement. You know, and if you achieve that, great. You know, but like I said, I've got how many years to try and do all these things?
Yeah, still 26 to go, something like that. Yeah.
So slowly but surely. It will happen.
Yeah. We will see. No, I really love that you have such a vision and that you are looking forward to opportunities that you create for yourself. It's like, it's not that, of course, other people help you, but you are the one that opened the door and opens the door for the next step.
Definitely the driving force.
Yeah,
I'm definitely driving things forward.
Let me get back one more time to the past. When you decided to be a solo recording artist, was that also the moment that you said it has to be my name on it? Because
yeah.
Okay.
That was a decision that I made. I made that decision because it allows me the full, complete creative control. I don't want to be discussing anything with anybody. This is what I want to do. And
does the band help you?
To do what?
To make arrangements.
No.
So it's
the band comes and play. Their job is to come and play.
Okay.
And that's it.
Okay.
The music side of things, that's what the band deals with, you know.
Yeah, they will figure it out on stage, and that's it.
Yeah, you know, that's it.
But that means that
so it's not a group.
No, but is that something you hear that more often in jazz and soul than you hear that in the rock or the indie vibe. That most of the times is a band thing.
Yeah, a band thing is it's all good for me. The reason why I made that decision, clearly because I was in a band before, and I knew the pitfalls of being in a band, and
Yeah.
I didn't want to be in that situation ever again because I'm such a control freak. I'll give you that. I'll
Yeah,
say that. And
I
I know
know.
that about myself now. I'm a control freak, so I know that about myself, and I need to be in control of what I'm doing. And the way I can be in control of what I'm doing is by going under my own name, and this is it. Everything else can change around me, but I still stay the same.
Yeah.
You know.
And with the upcoming next album, let's say it will be next year, something like that. Maybe this year. This year. No. Oh man, you're working so hard.
It's already ready.
Oh, it's January. It's the
it's
beginning.
already done.
Oh, okay. That means that the upcoming time will be hard working again. It's
Yeah.
not just touring and relax. It's just like
No,
doing
no.
everything together again.
Yeah.
Promoting,
Promote,
touring,
yeah.
touring.
Yeah. So music videos.
Yeah.
So first you let me break it down. So first mix, master, send to whoever needs to listen to it. Get them excited about it.
You are in this stage now.
Yeah.
Okay,
Stage.
yeah.
Send it to whoever. Get them excited about it. And then the next stage is photo shoot. But whilst you send it off,
Yeah, of
you
course.
go and
Yeah.
do your photo shoot. So I know what the album cover is going to look like. I know exactly what I want to do. Exactly. So that's already that's a vision that I already had before I
of
hit
course.
the first note to record the album. And that can change as well with throughout the year whilst I'm finishing the album. So I always have working titles. I have 3 titles for the album, and when the day comes, it will feel right. It will either be a title of one of the songs in there that get the album done. So I design all my album covers. I do all that stuff because I'm a designer. So I'll sit down. I'll work with the photographer, and then I'll sit down and look at how do I want to present the album, the inlay, all the liner notes, everything. Who do I want to thank? Everything else, and all that kind of stuff. And then once that's done, I have a package, and then as soon as whoever says, "Yeah, we love this," this is what the album cover looks like. Wow, we like it. It's really cool. I like the concept. Now I can see the visual side of it. Okay, and then they'll probably say, "What's the top 5 tracks that we can really sell this album with?" And then I already know
Which 5?
which 5, and which is the one. Hopefully, the person that I'm going to be collaborating with says the same thing. And if he says the same thing, then we're on the same page.
Yeah.
And then straight away, I'll go and film. So I film my own music videos, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
I edit them, direct them, everything. So I know what I want to do. I already know what the music video is going to be like. And it can relate to any of the top 5s.
Okay.
So I'm free.
Okay.
Creatively it's open ended. And so as soon as that's done, I go and I shoot the first music video. But this time, back in the day, I shoot one music video and then I'll go and do it. But this time, I'm probably going to shoot the 5. Bam, 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 bam. I'll do the 5 all in one, probably in one go. So I'll pick a session and try and get them all done. So I have all the material ready. I'm not running around, And then we'll pick a release date of when the music is released, and then label gets in now and starts to work on speaking to who's the PR team that we're going to get around in different territories and so on. And I might even license in different territories. So I'll be speaking to 4 different record labels at the same time to try and coordinate them to release at the same time, and who's going to do the pressing of the vinyl, if it's going to be vinyl, if it's going to be CD and everything else and so on. And so my last album was licensed to one, Germany, a label in Germany, Leger.
Yep.
But Leger also has more than just Germany, so quite a wide territory. Benelux, Docs.
Yeah.
Docs and Benelux.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 2 labels, and then South Korea, another label, and then Japan, another label. So there was four labels that had to coordinate that I'm licensed my music to, if you see what I mean. And I could retain some of the other territories if I choose to, and just give some territories, depending on how much work I want to do. So I could say US is out off the cards. I'm gonna self-release in coordination on the same date as everybody else. That can be a bit of work. It could work quite well on an independent level, because having one label that represents you worldwide makes things easy, because everything comes out as impact. All right. But then if there's no one in Spain to represent you, and there's a label that's in Germany, has nothing to do with Spain, who's doing the groundwork for you in Spain? If you're with a major, they've got
Everywhere, someone, yeah.
And if you're lucky, everyone's going to be excited about the album, and they're going to really, really push it all at the same time. But then if you have a label, independent label in Spain, one in Germany, first have a plan. This year I want to be big in France.
Hometown now.
Yeah, I want to be big. I want to be big in France this year. I want to be big. I want to continue to be big in Germany. I want to continue to be big in Holland. And then what's the other territory that I need to focus on? The States. So that's my focus. Forget everything else, because you can't do everything. And then you can focus and try and get a label in the US independent label in the US that's gonna release your album. And then you can focus on France and put your resources, more focus. And I want the UK to pick up a bit more, and then put your resources. So you just pick, have a focus and work on it. And then you get loads of fans in those territories, and then you can probably move on to other territories if you choose to. So yeah.
A lot of bands are just like, I want to be on the major and release it everywhere, and then notice that that's not how it works. And what you're saying in your plan is like, that focus gives me way more opportunities in the long run instead of short run, one time excitement.
Yeah. That's my, it's not like, that's how I think and how I do things, and I've been focusing on different territories all these years and growing those territories. Spain, I focus on Spain. I'll do it to Barcelona and do 2,000 easy, that's not a problem, because I worked on Spain. I get the right people, and I worked on it. Germany, I've been working on Germany, and last 2 years I worked on France for years. First album, second album. I had a meeting with Universal Records for my second album in Paris, and we sat on the table with Forever Dreaming, and it didn't go the right way because they wanted worldwide, and I already released in different territories already. Yeah. So they said, all right, next album we'll talk and whatever. And I'm like,
but you don't want that.
I missed France.
You don't want to have it worldwide released on one name. So
if a major could handle it. A major could handle it for sure. An independent label could possibly handle it, depending on what kind of connections they have in the various territories. You need to know what label. You need to know what
they can do for you.
What they can do. Yeah. It's all about connections, man. Yeah. It's about that label. Which territories do they have connections in? Because once you give that label is gonna want to maximize their profit.
Of course.
And they're gonna maximize the profits first of all with their connections. So if that label has good connections in this country and that country, that this is what you're gonna get. If you get anything plus, if you get anything more, it's a plus. Yeah. It's a plus. Or you can self-release. There's nothing wrong with self-releasing. I have self-release to start with, and I'll still do self-release now. If I'm not really feeling what the labels want to do when they want to release, and I think I need to release now, I'll happily self-release. And I'll self-release and get a really good distributor. Because when it comes to the aggregating and physicals, it's still in our genre. Those are still strong. A really good aggregator will be able to get your music on Spotify, highlight on Deezer, and all that kind of stuff, because that's important. So you don't need a label. And then what you do is you focus. You do your 4-country plan, and you find a PR in those 4 countries, and you pay them whatever you got to pay them ahead of time. And let them do the PR, and then make sure you have your booking agents.
Of course, yeah.
Make sure you have your booking agents at standby. And this is the country. This is where we're going to tour, and we need to have PR around those tours. Boom, do it. Nothing wrong with it. Wow. And everyone do their job. And it's work.
Yeah. When are you gonna relax and breathe and do the other things? I mean,
I think about that all the time. Yeah, I mean, in between you find time, but I do think about it. I got to spend. I could try and do some more quality things because I'm is striving to achieve, to do better and achieve things and so on. And you always there's always a deadline and a goal that you're trying to achieve, and it does interfere with your everyday life. But if it's what you do and what you love doing, and what you want to achieve, then who else better to do it, to go and achieve it than yourself? Not always people are going to do things for you. You got to prove that you're able to do it for something, and then people take you seriously maybe at that point, and then maybe people can get involved and then help take that load, off you. But at this stage, there's no way I can relax right now because I'm not where I need to be exactly yet. I'm still working on a tightrope. I can easily fall easily, and then my 15 plan goal will be hampered a little bit, but I'll still keep going.
But does it? It's one of the questions I sometimes ask to artists. Can you handle that? Is it not like too hard in your mind and too physical hard to keep running for this long? I mean, at a certain point, you need to relax.
Yeah,
and
when you
know me.
Hopefully, you know when to relax. But it's a challenge.
Yeah,
it's definitely a challenge, and I catch myself thinking, "Damn, I need to, I could take a month with the family and just do something really, really cool." And I'll do it. I'll do it next month. I'll do it next year. Next year, once the next album's out, I'll do it next year. Next year comes, and you do the next one, and so on. I'm still young, man. There's loads of time.
That's true.
There's loads of time. But now let's get that. As soon as I have a really solid foundation, then I could probably relax a little bit. Because at least that's done. Yeah. So.
I hope you will find that balance one day.
yeah.
Because I think you will keep running for.
You think, yeah.
At least.
You're getting to know me now, man.
12 more albums. No. It's a. I mean, I really appreciate you and I love you for what you're doing, and your music is awesome. And also asking me to be a photographer at different venues and different locations. I mean, Luxembourg today. I mean, I really like that, and it's like so much appreciation from you to me and to the other guys to work together and make things happen every time on different levels. I mean, you do your music. I have nothing to do with that, but
no, for sure. For sure. I like creating a family.
Yeah.
I think, I didn't have a decent family. So growing up. So I guess what I'm trying to make up for, whatever's lost is to create some kind of a family, and people that would get to know who I am, my temperament and stuff, and are willing to work with me, and at the same time I could try to get to know them and so on. And like Theo's doing my filming for me. Theo's a friend of mine, and he's part of Bijou Mayo. He's playing saxophone with me on the street.
That's how it works.
And now he's gone off and he's got his own filming company and stuff. It's like, so we're working together. So it's all connected. And my guys, you show me, I give you my trust, you give me your trust, and that's it really.
It's amazing to hear your story and that you wanted to share it in this podcast.
Well, I didn't want to. He made me do it.
That's true.
No, it's all good.
I asked for years.
I just hope that voice, I'm not wasting it too much.
No,
I'm going to be croaky.
You will figure it out for tonight.
I'm sure I will. I always do.
Thank you very much.
Oh, good, man.
Thank you for your time.
It was fun. And it's kind of nice, going back and rethinking, because sometimes you move forward and you're always focused on the future, but I guess reflection is always always a good thing as well.
And I hope, and that is also one part of the reason why I started this podcast, is to share knowledge, because a lot of artists keep it for themselves, or a lot of agencies keep it for themselves, while young artists have no clue where to start, how to start, or know that it's so hard, because it is hard to get forward. I mean, you have to work a lot. It's not like just record an album and then things will happen. You have to work for it yourself. Yeah,
you need some naivety. You need to be a little bit naive anyway. You got to be a dreamer. You got to dream, but at the same time, don't be completely stupid.
No, you have to be a little bit realistic.
Yeah, you definitely have to be realistic. That's for sure. You have to create a dream, have a dream about where you want to be. Have a goal. So I'm probably end this podcast with something that I've heard somebody say, and I'm gonna share it. I'm trying to think who said it. Was it Arnold Schwarzenegger? Maybe. And so there's some good talkers out there. You should listen to his story and how he got to where he.
Yeah, of course.
And I think is it Arnold? Some. Okay, imagine you're flying a plane. All right, and you have a destination. That plane will get to the destination because that's the destination. If there's a storm in the way, what would the plane do? It will go around the storm and then continue on the destination. If there's it starts to rain or whatever, it will go down underneath the rain. If it's run out of fuel, it will go to an airport on the ground, pick up the fuel, and then get back in the air and try to get its passengers to his destination. All right? And it will get to his destination somehow, but it knows where it's going. And imagine there's a plane without a destination.
It can fly around for days.
So we're flying. Where are we going? There's a storm. Oh, no. Then you go that way. All right? And then there's rain, and then you turn around and you go that way. And then you just keep going. So it's a simple thing, but you can imagine, how powerful thinking like that is, So you have your goal and try to get to your destination. And if you have a goal, at least you got direction. And
And sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's easy. Sometimes
you fall, learn from your mistake, pick yourself up and go again. And there's times where you think that you don't have nothing left to give, and just ride it out. It's not easy. Nothing's easy, man. Nothing's easy. Pick yourself up again. Try and learn from your mistakes, and remember that every show might be your last show. So try to give it everything. But at the same time, if you've passed your last show and you regret something about it, forget about it and focus on the next one. Because that's the next opportunity to fix those mistakes or whatever it is that that happened, or the next album. What happened? What was the wrong things? What did I do that wasn't right? And then try and learn from that. Like it was Einstein says, only a fool makes the same mistake twice. So sometimes we can't help it, but hey.
Yeah, great.
Cool.
Thank you very much again. If you want to join the family, go to the socials. I will link them below in the show notes, of course. See whenever the new shows are up.
Yeah.
Or the new album is coming.
It's going to be an exciting year. Well, it's exciting next 2 years because the new album's coming out. And I'm looking forward to it.
And then you can sing along because that's what happens on these shows. Yeah. I still don't know.
One day.
One day.
One day.
Maybe. No, thank you very much again.
Man.
And see you in the next podcast. Thank you. Bye.
Man, we had a good chat. How long did we chat for?